Good day, everyone. Today we'll be taking a look at the Egyptian revolution for the Ottomans, which happens to be one of the best revolutions in the game. It doesn't give you 800 HP Hussars, instead it gives you the ability to train 1000 HP Mamelukes from the stable, which also come free with every shipment you get as the Egyptians. In a similar way to how the Germans get free Ulans with every shipment they send, the Egyptians get one free Mamluk for every shipment they send in. And on top of that, the Egyptians also have a number of cards, which we will go over shortly. They give them even more cavalry options, which were introduced after the African Royals expansion. So the Egyptians, just like the Barbary states, have benefited immensely from the African Royals expansion, turning them from a decent Hungary alternative for any Ottoman player who wanted to revolt into one of the best revolutions in the entire game. With a solid mix of cards that help your economy, cards that help your offense, cards that help your defense, and cards that let you dunk on your opponent with Gatling camels for the memes.
My sword blazes with the righteous flame.
Starting at the top, we see your two main economic upgrades. There's Flood of the Nile, which does a number of things, including giving you 4 settlers and increasing the gathering rates from mills, as well as increasing your villager cap by 4, alongside mill and plantation bonuses, as well as you have your Suez Canal, which gives you trading posts, and it also makes trading post upgrades completely free and instant. See the standard infinite 16 revolutionaries, infinite 1 fort, and then your citizenship card, followed by your fleet card that gives you 1 frigate, 1 monitor, and 1 privateer. And then after that, we have your 2 horse gun card, which is also infinite, as well as your Nizam Fusilier card that lets you build Nizam Fusiliers at forts. We have more unit cards. We have the infinite 5 Stratiates, followed by the higher Gatling Camel card, which costs gold, the higher Ascari card that costs gold, as well as Zenyatta Cavalry and 15 Sudanese allies. And of course, when you revolt, all of your villagers will turn into revolutionaries, which will of course necessitate that after you send in all of your revolutionaries and you launch your big timing attack, you then send in your citizen card after that, and you're going to have to reboom. Booming will be a lot easier if you already have some plantations up, because the Flood of the Nile card will increase the gathering rate on plantations, as well as also give you a 100 coin crate on every plantation, as well as a 100 food crate for every mill. And so if after you revolt you are able to send Flood of the Nile and your citizenship card, then that means that every single plantation you have up will have one 100 coin crate, which you can then quickly harvest so that you can quickly build more citizens and get your economy reboomed by the time that you've already used up all of your revolutionaries in an attack. Whereas with some of the revolutions that don't give you an eco bonus or a way to quickly get back on your feet, you'll find that you stall after you send in that big surge, and your opponent will use that time to either destroy you if it's a 1v1, or if it's a team match, then the team will basically be one player down until you're able to reboom and get back in the fight. That is one reason why Egypt is so good, is because the Flood of the Nile combined with citizenship gives you a way to keep up the tempo. First, you send in your giant wave of revolutionaries, and by the time that that's over, you'll have an economy ready for Phase 2. And Phase 2 is using the unique advantages of this revolution to completely destroy your opponent. You'll be able to send out one of the most powerful mercenaries in the game from your stables, the Mamluk, and since in the late game players sent a macro towards gold, the Mamluk will be perfectly suited towards your economy, especially since in the process of rebooming you had to build a ton of plantations so that you could build more villagers. So the entire Egyptian eco is uniquely macroed towards creating a large number of plantations, which you can then use to build more villagers, which you can then use to build even more plantations, so that you could build a ton of Mamelukes. Of course, if you build nothing but Mamluks, then you run into the danger of your opponent countering with either spies if they're a European civ, or with native scouts if they have that card and they are a Native American civ. So it's wise to have some normal non-mercenary units around as well. Native allied units are actually a great choice because they don't take up any population in contrast. And of course they won't be countered by spies, or ninjas, or native scouts, though a lot of supremacy players will forget to even use spies. So in most supremacy games, you're probably safe to just spam Mamelukes, but for treaty games, you're going to definitely want some non-mercenary units to mix in with your force, so that that one dude with 10 spies cloaked just lying in front of his cannons acting as bait, so that one dude won't get you. because that always happens. There's this one dude out there with those heavy cannons, apparently out there unguarded. You charge in with your Stratiots or your Mamelukes, and then out of nowhere, 10 spies just pop out, and boom, your entire army of mercenaries dead. But as previously mentioned, in addition to the ability to build all of those Mamelukes, you'll also gain the ability to build Nizam Fusiliers from the fort once you send that Nizam Fusilier card. And since Nizam Fusiliers don't count as mercenaries, you can use them and their ranged volley mode to kill all of those stupid spies that love to uncloak and ruin your day. So, that's something you can do as the Egyptians. You can create a powerful army that has all of your Nizam Fusiliers, that has your Mamelukes, that has your Askari, though you can only send the Askari once, and build a very powerful and very dangerous force. So if you love Nizam Fusiliers and you wish that you could have more of them, if you absolutely love your Mamelukes and you wish you could build them from the stable, then the Ottoman Egyptian Revolution option is the way to go. In a way, it kind of mirrors the Ottomans, where you don't get a wide variety of unique units to choose from, but the units that you do have are very high quality. Once you send this, you'll be able to build Nizam Fusiliers from the forts, and you'll be able to build Mamelukes from any stable, so that you can have two of the most powerful units in the game at your beck and call once you send this revolution in. Just remember that while your Mamelukes are a gold-only unit and will completely function fine if you build nothing but plantations while you're rebooming, your Nizam Fusiliers do require food to be built from your forts. So you're going to have to build a few mills or have a few pre-existing mills as well. But as long as you're able to reboom and you're smart about how you macro your economy, you can have one of the most powerful militaries in the entire game if you revolt as the Egyptians when playing the Ottomans. So go out there, have fun, and dunk on your opponents with obscenely overpowered cavalry units.